See, just close your eyes, and then I can see when you. I can't see when you fucking start, Sophia. I'm assuming by the lean crease of my couch that you started it.
Hey, language. Your niece, your cousin is listening to this.
I don't have a niece. I have
my niece.
I'd be startled if I had a niece. But welcome back to This Is Probably a Mistake. I'm Owen, and
I'm Sophia.
It's very group projecty what we just did right there. Yes.
And to introduce yourself.
Oh yes, we have our second guest, highly requested by him. I know it's
all just they want to be on the podcast. Everyone just wants to be involved.
Our guests are so narcissistic and egotistical. I don't know what it is.
That's fair.
Go ahead and say who you are.
I'm Owen's dad, Joel.
Woo!
It's a dubious honor.
Yes, such an honor to have first dad on there, reaching our demographic of older people, which I feel like you fall into. I can see by the graying hairs on your.
Well, yeah, it happens when you have a 22-year-old doing a podcast about nothing.
It's not. Well, it's listen to a lot of nothing to be one of our top listeners and be your top Spotify podcast on your Wrapped.
That's a very sad statement about my life.
Well, maybe it just shows that you love your son. It's doubtful.
It could be.
We got fun stuff planned for today. Fun stuff.
Okay.
You don't really know about yet. Do we want?
Oh boy.
I don't know.
Let's go through the Spotify Wrapped.
Let's go through the Spotify Wrapped first. Okay.
Easy.
Okay.
Let me make sure I'm not on the other surprise. Okay, sweet. Okay. Screen share this. Okay, so we're gonna go through our Spotify Wrapped with one of our top listeners, and
I think we have to post this one on YouTube.
So they can see exactly. Yeah.
So everyone can see.
Okay. So here's a Spotify Wrapped. Okay, it's loading. Bada boop, bada bing. Okay. I
want to see what your Spotify Wrapped is.
We can do that in a second. Let's see. Okay. The Wrapped. Let's go into this.
This is really awesome for an audio podcast.
It is really awesome for an audio podcast.
That's what I'm saying.
It's okay. That's why we're gonna put. Okay, it says let's take from the top. Let's figure. I don't know what this is. It's still loading. Okay, next thing. Oh, our top episode was the sex ed episode. Woo! It was streamed 173% more than our average episode. People really like.
Funny enough, I don't think I've listened to that one yet.
You haven't listened to the sex ed episode?
That
is arguably.
My dad regrets it.
Your dad listened to it?
Yes, he was like, "That's probably one I shouldn't have listened to."
I don't know.
That's what I figured.
It's arguably the best episode.
Obviously, I mean, it was listened to almost 200% more than our average episode.
I think our friends are like it because it's just we're going through our sex ed book from Father Ryan.
It had sex in the title.
Sex sells.
It was good marketing.
We're marketing majors. We know how to get it done.
Yeah.
What you're paying for. We're doing it correctly.
See?
Awesome.
Then let's see what else is next. Let's hear from the new fans. Here for the new fans. I can't read.
I think everybody's a new fan.
Maybe 64% of our listeners discovered us in 2022. We did start in 2022 because remember this.
We didn't get a Wrapped in 2022.
Oh, we did, and we just didn't do it.
That's probably
because we started with when Hendon Hooker was quarterback. Yes.
Oh yes.
It was the sex ed episode was the one that brought him in.
51% of our new listeners started at sex ed.
Man, a lot of our listeners are like deviants and perverts. Man.
Okay.
What?
No.
No.
Fine.
That's your friends. That's fair.
Our top country was the U.S.
USA. What else? Yeah. Your listeners have good taste, obviously. What else are they listening to?
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay. Let's see. Top podcast genres were comedy, TV, and film, and news.
So comedy tracks.
Comedy tracks for TV and film.
We can be considered news.
Are we
reliable news stories?
Really? Okay.
Breaking news. I shit myself yesterday. Our listeners' top genres were pop, rap, and rock. That tracks.
Yeah.
That does track.
Yeah.
Very, very.
I'm surprised rock is 3 and rap is 2. Yeah. They told our friends about us. Ooh, it's probably just us sharing it to our Instagram stories.
Oh yeah.
Now to guess.
Text, Instagram, text. 33%.
Wow.
Text.
Oh,
I sent it
look
to
at
a
that.
couple
It's
people.
interactive this year.
What, Dad?
I sent it to a couple people. I
No.
sent it to Tiffany so she could hear you call her old.
She is old. You are all old in my eyes. How old was she when she dropped me on my head?
She was in her 20s.
So much.
Her 20s?
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe 19.
So yeah, old. I think anyone over the age of 25 is old. So
You're old.
hmm
I'm almost old and senile. Yes, yeah, but I'm not there yet.
Oh,
I
God.
got time.
I wonder what the other is.
I think that has to be emailed. Did you email it to Tiffany?
No, I texted it to her. My client,
Ooh.
Scott, saw it on Facebook
Oh,
Oh god.
your
when I
client.
posted my rap.
Oh, when you posted your Wrapped. Okay,
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
why are you sending this to your clients?
I am not.
As a partner of your firm, I feel like this would reflect poorly
yeah,
on you.
should we redact your name when we post this?
Or should we just put Joel Vallejo?
Most people know who I am, so they know what I'm like.
Joselito. Then they won't know.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
I tell everyone that story.
Which one was this? Full
Full
speed
Speed-
ahead.
that was the one right after. That's our second episode of season 2.
Okay.
It's Full Speed
so then
Ahead.
No shared one.
That's weird. I guess that was the one after I announced I was working at
Probably.
Disney.
We
Woo!
had a perfect 5 out of 5.
5 out of
rating.
5.
See? We're a high quality podcast.
Suck it. Your other kid's becoming an aerospace engineer. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, good. I'm glad I'm lumped into this.
You are lumped into this. It sucks for you.
So glad.
You're lumped together
No.
with me forever because this is on the internet.
Yeah.
This year, listeners
Everything's
can
forever
learn.
on the internet. Yes.
They got talking. Let's see. We had 7 Q&As, which received 3 responses. The 2 of the responses.
7 Q&As?
I've been doing it when I post. I do a lot of fun
I
Q&As.
didn't even know that.
Yeah, and half the time it's just him responding, and we can't even see them because Spotify has flagged his comments.
Oh, I remember you saying that.
I think that's very unfair.
What-
If they listen to your podcast, I think my response was tame and reflection.
I didn't flag it. Spotify flagged it because you said you were. Oh, I'm sorry. We also got the SEC championship on the TV behind us, and Kirby Smart looks so sad, like he's fighting back tears.
Probably is.
He's so happy.
They're probably not going to the playoffs now. I'd be fighting.
Nick
back tears,
Saban
too.
just fucked us out of the fucking playoffs. God damn it. Now my crack addict of a quarterback, Carson Beck, can't buy crack for his children. Anyway, back to the Wrapped.
Oh,
Are you a gardener?
Mm.
I don't know. Is this a pickup line?
Definitely not.
Let's see.
I'd pick 'em up.
That's a
Because
weird
your podcast
question.
saw some nice growth this year.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
55% listeners,
300
plus 312% streams.
72% in followers,
Mm-hmm.
and minutes created up 890%.
Which, to be fair, we had a whole year of it this year.
Yeah. Well, also we
Not much.
took a big break after the South Carolina game.
Yeah, that was.
And
amazing.
is that it?
That was a lot of sadness after the South Carolina game.
Oh wait! Shout out to our biggest fans. That's you. Let's see. Does that tell us who you guys are?
We're a
Top-
top 10 podcast for 32. That's like
Yes!
I mean, to be fair, I don't know how many people listen to more than 10 podcasts. Right
We only have 18 followers though.
We're a top 5 podcast for 24 fans.
Ooh!
I'm shocked. Oh, please tell us our top.
But I have to hit the butt. Number 1 podcast for 6 fans. You're one of those
Wow.
fans.
That's crazy.
Man, there's 6 of y'all out there that love us so much.
Or just don't listen to podcasts.
I bet the other one's like Ella Plasco, probably, because all there's
You know-
at the
Maybe.
top fans list you
I bet it's on
one-
my dad.
1.8 times more than your other listeners. Yeah, I like how it's just baby us floating around the
Yeah,
screen.
that's pretty funny.
66%
I
of
did that
return
one.
listeners. Fantastic. And then what are we zooming
Oh, I
out?
wanted it to give us a list of who our top listeners.
I know. 32 fans.
No,
top
it's our
time. Yeah, top
Oh, no, it's
fans.
just like an overview.
It's at the end of the presentation.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing your podcast with the world. You're welcome, world. You're welcome.
Oh goodness. Thank Thank you. To
Oh
the
wait, they
Sixers.
made something just for us. Ooh, what is this? Let's see. Oh, we can share this with our
Wow.
fans.
Oh,
I'm not gonna do that. But if we want
But
to,
we could.
we could. We can
could
change the
you could?
color.
We can do. Oh wait, they all have different things on them.
Oh yeah, this one just has our fans. Best episode of the year. I would share that one. That would- but,
Uh,
but hey, Dad, while we got you here, before we go into our
Okay.
biggest pet peeves,
Oh, I gotta think.
I want you to explain. Oh, not that. Sorry, that's just a cute photo of us having a good time.
it was
So what is it? So when you were our age,
Yeah.
what made you want to get a
I
mullet?
was actually younger then.
You're younger than you're in high school.
I was in high school.
Interesting.
18.
You're 18 there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the mullet. I knew you grew up in
Why?
Tullahoma, Tennessee.
Yeah.
You know, probably the only brown kid that's
Hey.
not African American in there. The only Asian kid there,
No.
if I had to assume.
You would be very wrong.
I'd be ooh, interesting.
Tullahoma is very metropolitan for its size. We had lots of engineers and doctors, so we had a lot of transplants. A couple of Indian 7-Eleven, not casino.
I don't think you can't say that.
Why not?
Well, let's get over that. You ready to have your dad on here?
No. No.
We had several Korean kids. They were always small. And a couple Chinese kids.
Oh, but
And we had a top tier football team, and so we had several black kids too.
well, yeah, it's the
Soccer.
South, so you know.
Yeah.
But what that doesn't explain. Who told you to get the mullet?
Two kids from my high school went to play in the NFL.
Cool. Did they last long?
One was actually backup quarterback to Peyton for a little bit
Oh,
at UT, Steve Matthews, and then he went to Memphis, hurt his knee, and then he kind of bounced around. Antonio London played for a while. I don't remember where he played for though.
yeah. Okay, but that doesn't explain who told you to get the
So
mullet. The mullet.
Well,
That's why-
that was a personal choice. Are you kidding? The mullet is dead sexy, son. Business in the front, party in the back.
So
The
would you
ladies love
recommend Owen getting a mullet?
I was shocked that he never got one.
I'm not.
You can only have a mullet for up to a certain age. You can't do it anymore. Right now, if you were going to do a mullet, you'd have to do the faux hawk mullet, which is less interesting to me.
So I remember you explaining this earlier, like when I first got here.
My mullet was magnificent, by the way.
I don't know, and this photo looks really greasy, but besides the point.
It was magnificent.
So at this point, when you had the
I had to
mullet,
moose it up to feather it up. And
that's why it looks greasy as hell. So when you had this mullet, is this around the time you had your pickup truck?
Yes.
So you know how, what's the word for when an Asian guy wants to be white? Because we know when a white guy wants to be Asian, they're called a weeb. So what's the reverse of that called?
To be fair, I didn't pick up the pickup truck. Your grandparents bought the pickup truck for me.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay. So in this photo right here, did you what's going on in this one?
that's my senior picture.
That's your
Actually,
Oh, and I see the resemblance.
You see the
magnificent mullet.
Yeah, I can see it.
it looks like you're wearing a raccoon skin hat.
I can tell your jealousy of my mullet. And it's sad. You could have done it in high school. You didn't. You chose not to. You went with that porcupine thing you got going, and that's fine. It's a choice. Everyone makes a choice.
First off, I couldn't have a mullet in high school. There was like hair rules and stuff at Father Ryan. Second
Oh,
off,
that's
Years of college, though.
that is true, but you know,
It's true for two.
did I
I
really?
feel like that infringes on your free speech.
Fully think you should have.
Well, what the Filipino boys are doing now, what I've seen with like Andre Balmaceda, they're doing the mullet, but they're getting a perm with the mullet, so they have curly
you
hair.
so should have done that.
No.
There were several guys in my high school who had the perm mullet, but it was very sad.
But yeah, I mean, it looks really good on Andre, but also Andre looks like Maui now
I've
from
not
Moana.
seen Andre
So
since
he's
I
a
barely
he's a
even knew what he
big.
looked like in
I run
high
into him at the
school.
gym every once in a while. He's a big boy.
Is he here?
Yeah,
Oh, I don't know.
he's a sophomore.
I would guess 90% of my high school had the mullet.
90% of
That's
well,
it.
you also grew up in the '80s when the mullet was like a big old.
Oh,
It was cocaine and the mullet. So you know.
We didn't have cocaine. We had smoking porches though.
Oh, do you think that's what the outside area, like the senior patio, was at Father Ryan before?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
100%.
Oh, do you have any fun high school stories? I've heard a couple from you that were my favorite, but
Ones that can be shared.
ones that can be shared publicly.
That can be shared publicly. Probably one of my better memories is after graduation. A lot of us woke up in a field somewhere because that's what we did. We partied out in a field, bonfire, Woke up, we were soaking wet from the dew and just got beer covered all over us. So we rolled up to your grandparents' house and your Lola, that's what we call grandmother in the Philippines. She made us all breakfast.
That
It was
does
very
sound,
nice.
that does sound like
That's pretty nice.
so. That's out of all of them. That's the one you can share publicly.
That's the one I can share publicly.
No, the ones that I can think of is when, because you went to Catholic middle school
I did go to Catholic middle
and
school.
you went to public high school.
I did.
They didn't know where to put you class wise, so they put you in all the dumb classes.
I tried to sneak into all the dumb classes,
Why
not
did you try to
showing
sneak
where.
in? Why'd you try to sneak into the dumb
Well,
classes?
that's where all the hot girls were. Um, so they kind of figured it out when I was in algebra one that I was in the back of the class trying to teach all the cheerleaders how to do algebra. So they booted me up to algebra one honors, which was not as fun.
Yeah, and then I remember
It made me very sad.
There's another one where you told me because you took me to Dick's Sporting Goods thing here in Knoxville, and you said, "Oh, I used to have a truck like that in high school." It's like, did you know they figured out something about you skipping school? They figured out you were skipping school or something.
Oh yeah. So I was Tullahoma was a small town, right?
Uh-huh.
And your Lolo's secretary, she knew everybody in the town, knew every single person. If there was gossip to be known, Phoebe knew it. So one day I'm out skipping school. I'm with my girlfriend in my truck, and we're driving around. Technically, we weren't skipping; we were selling ads for the yearbook. So I had an excuse to be out.
Selling ads
But
for the yearbook.
that's how we did things back in the 80s. We sold ads for the yearbook. They let us off campus, and we could go eat and hang out and do things. But somebody saw me because I was like one of 5 or 6 Asian kids in the school. Uh, Knew who I was and called Phoebe, and Phoebe told my mom and your Lola. And then I got quizzed about it, and I said, no, I was allowed to be out.
Did she buy it?
But yeah, sort of.
Maybe for a moment.
Maybe for a moment. It sounded legitimate, but it was probably she was fairly skeptical.
Best one. This is the best one. Okay. Well, that's the fun little surprise I had there. Other than like that,
Not really surprised.
I don't know. I got to see those photos for the first time. Kind of. I just had to go through your Facebook and whatnot. But
I need some embarrassing photos of Owen. That's what we need.
Nah, we don't need those.
I think
we will be fine without those.
I think I've got several photos of him from like various national comic conventions
That would be amazing.
posing with scantily clad cosplayers.
He made me pose with the scantily clad cosplayers because he said if I did it, he would buy me a toy. It's the only way I
Uh,
would get a toy is if I.
that doesn't sound right, son.
That sounds exactly right. Sounds exactly.
No.
Did
I
mom,
don't know what you were doing. I had to take a picture.
did mom enjoy it? Those photos?
She always shakes her head.
Okay. Okay. So now we're gonna move on to our biggest pet peeves, which we've been doing for the past
It's our third time.
third time doing it. Okay.
I did not come.
No.
With one.
I have one right now. Dad, do you have a pet peeve right now that's just really irking you?
Yes, I do. My biggest pet peeve right now are people in the fast lane that aren't going over 75. There are some people who are really trying to break the law. You need to get over to the right.
That's a good one. That's a good
That was
one.
a good one.
Yeah. Do you have one
No, I
revved
gotta
up
think.
yet?
No,
Yeah.
you
I'm gonna
go.
go with mine. Mine is coming off a recent encounter that I had with the leasing office here at my apartment, and those dumb fucks, those stupid idiots.
Is that a
Like,
pet peeve or just an irritating situation?
it's an irritating situation. If you give me the wording that what I don't know what the hell that's on TV right now. If you give me the wording that you tell me I can release my lease for a fee of $350 and you'll find someone to take it over, that's implied that you will do that. I guess people who lie to you to get you to spend money. But so scam artists, scum of the earth, like I don't know, salespeople. I don't know, but
Did you read the lease?
I
Because you didn't let me read it.
the trustworthy lady in the leasing
Sound
office.
like it.
Hmm. Hmm.
But
Did they teach you in your business classes that the written document is law and that anything
hmm.
spoken is a modification that is not a valid modification of the contract?
See,
You should know this. You took it. It was in the class.
business law. Business law.
I recall you taking that class because you
I
would call me with questions that weren't related to business law.
I remember sleeping through that
No,
class.
Hmm. I'm glad to know my money, and I'm assuming you slept during the state's portion of your tuition and not my portion of your tuition, right?
I slept through the fun stuff,
Ah,
the non-fun stuff. I was away for all the fun stuff, like my professor this semester being a magician. No,
no, that's fine.
yeah, it is fun. See,
I like magicians.
I will say this: one of my classmates said to me in one of my classes because he's had a couple. I've had a couple with him, and he's just like, I don't know. Whenever I see you in a class, I know this class is going to be so fucking easy because
That's a good thing.
I don't know. I don't know. I just kind
That's not
of
a good
lucked
thing.
out though, because like I was like, I don't really research this class before taking them. I just kind of take them.
Are
Like,
you your professors?
no, I
Oh
don't.
my god, no.
I don't.
was
I just
always
kind of go
under the
in,
professor.
and then just like, yeah, you're just reading like comic books the entire time. Like last year was X-Men, this year on Spider-Man. I was like, yeah, I'm catching up.
Awesome, awesome. I really can't. I really can't talk because they didn't take attendance when I was at UT. So I would go to. I went to one class like 3 or 4 times,
Yeah, how'd you
and
meet mom? Oh.
I'll tell you that in a minute. The last time I went to that class, there was somebody new up front, and I go, "What happened to the teacher? Oh, he died.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that sucks. Do you have notes for the exam? No, it was tough, but I passed."
That's what matters, man.
I'm so sad that my professor's dead. What was their name?
Yeah.
So speaking of you critiquing me sleeping through class, how did you meet mom?
Uh, so technically, I didn't meet her that time.
Okay.
We were in the same summer class. I'd been partying out all night and super tired. It was a Shakespeare class during the summer.
Uh-huh.
And I fell asleep, and the teacher was going to kick me out, but I needed it to graduate. So I begged him to let me stay in. Your mother, unbeknownst to me, was in that class. And she saw it, and she thought, what a loser. Uh, and then in the fall, we ended up in the same poli sci class. I think it was constitutional law.
hmm
And at the time, I was a captain of the mock trial team for UT.
Yeah.
And to get out of doing the paper, your mother agreed to be a member of the mock trial team and was my witness. So that's how we met.
No. Well, her first initial reaction was you passed out in a classroom.
I didn't pass out. I fell asleep.
You were passed out in a
I
classroom.
didn't. I was tired. I didn't like.
Okay. Sophia, what's your pet peeve right now?
Mine's also driving, but it's like when people get road rage for absolutely no reason. Like nobody did anything to you,
Well, that's just
and you just get angry for nothing, and you start driving like a maniac. That's
Okay.
that's a pet peeve. What?
that's
Are
just,
you driving? Are you driving in the left-hand lane? It's doing 75. Because if you were, I would argue that.
No, it's like when I was driving on the highway in Nashville the other day, and there was a car that was like getting over to the right.
You can't count when Nashville's insane.
Well, no, I know. But there's a car getting over to the right and a car in the lane to the left of them that was getting over in their lane. This car swerves over. So this car swerves out of their way to get out of the lane. And then the car that moved over that almost hit the first car starts running this guy off the road and swerving back, like that kind of insanity. Like when you just get
That is
angry about
crazy, yeah.
everything for literally no reason on the road and then you start acting like
Yeah.
me.
yeah.
That kind of thing.
See, look what I have as my biggest pet peeve on here: lying apartment scum.
Maybe the lady you talked to just was confused.
Maybe the lady should stop focusing on
her.
her thick ass eyebrows and focus more on telling the truth. Okay, damn. It's like
Maybe you should
like
read
fucking
your
caterpillars.
release.
I think thick ass eyebrows are in now, aren't they?
No, that's like
Thin is coming back.
Thin is making a comeback.
Thin is coming back now. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
It
Perfect.
was like the weird like whale tail stuff, I think.
Whale tail stuff.
Yeah, it was like where the girls had their underwear and it's like up here and then like, it's like
Yeah.
When you can see their thong.
Low waisted stuff is
Yeah.
coming back.
Anyway, let's move. I have questions. Well, are you going through my notes now?
Well, yeah, of course I am.
Did-
Okay. Well, now you're looking
Oh.
at my notes.
Yes. Go ahead, ask.
What was you were my head coach for 3 sports.
Yes.
The one in charge of
Keep going.
the one in charge of
Cross country, basketball, and soccer.
Yeah. What was your favorite sport to coach? I'll get to that. I'll get to that.
Probably soccer.
Soccer?
I had a real history with soccer, so that was a lot of fun to coach. And y'all won more games in soccer than you did basketball. So
We beat them.
And soccer?
yeah, that's nuts.
St. Henry.
Yeah.
You went to St. Mary's, right? Yeah, I think our year of basketball, that was like our only win. 1 year.
Yeah.
You barely lost
It was
that.
very sad. It was very sad.
Yeah. But we beat them in soccer. So,
We did beat we beat a lot of people you all beat a lot of people in soccer.
we were undefeated in 7th grade during the regular season.
Yeah,
But what was your least favorite sport to coach?
Probably cross country.
Because you had to do everything.
Because I had to do everything, right?
Yeah.
It was I enjoyed coaching the small groups I was with at the time, but having to wrangle the entire school was difficult because you got to understand, Sophia, when I coached cross country, I was basically the sucker who was in charge. So they had me coaching kindergarten through 8th grade. Now, the 8th graders were ridiculous. If they showed up at all, they only showed up because their parents made them. They didn't want to be there. They hated the entire time.
Yeah.
Kindergartners were scared out of their mind, had no idea what was going on. 1st through 3rd kind of thought it was this fun thing because all they had to do was either run in the gym or run outside on the playground, and they thought that was cool. 4th through 7th grade kind of hated it because they actually had to run. And it was a little tough because it wasn't always necessarily safe because we were running outside the school and there was traffic, a lot of traffic. And
I guess you don't have
what was
space to run.
No.
what was worse was Owen's class. So if I was running with them, they thought they could take a lot of liberties So they try and run ahead, or they'd go, "Hey, can we run to Belmont?" And,
We did go to
throw our
Bell.
heads and jump into the fountain. No, you can't jump in the fountain. Why do they jump in the fountain? Because
We did do that though.
they are.
I don't.
And then they'd run back dripping wet, and it's like they jump in the fountain. I can't tell you.
I don't know if I told you this, but me, Aiden, and Jack found a way because you're always up front or in the back with the people up, or you're trying to mess with the people
Mhm.
and get them run faster. You're trying to get people in the front to like go faster to make them do better. Me, Aiden, and Jack figured out if we stayed in the middle of the pack, we wouldn't see you. So we had a fun little game called Touch the Yellow Line. And I feel it's pretty self-explanatory, but we're running through heavy rush hour traffic in Belmead, Vanderbilt area. And
Yeah.
run up, you've seen me play here and when we're drunk. And you run out, tap the yellow line, and the last one to leave wins.
Stupid.
It was always me or Jack. Aiden never won.
Because he doesn't want to die.
Because he's a loser. He's not a winner.
You probably ought to tell your mother not to listen to this episode.
It's not my fault
Probably.
there was poor parental supervision while running 3 blocks away from school.
Yeah, you didn't die.
Okay. Other
There were only 2 of us to wrangle like 30 kids. So.
yeah, the other one was Mr. Roosh who was letting us run barefoot.
That he was the other head cross country coach, but who was usually running with your grade was poor Mrs. Herman, Delaney's mom.
Mrs. Herman. Yeah.
Yeah, Betsy Herman. You remember her?
We're not going to mess with Mrs.
Sweet
Herman.
lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Sweet women. So while we're trying to wrangle other kids, you're playing in the traffic. Awesome.
You're the one who said we should go run for practice. And it worked, though. We got second place our 8th grade year. So,
You did.
yeah. So, playing in the traffic works. You got to be faster than a car to not die. So, it's like you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. No.
Yeah, that is true. The fun thing about cross country though was meet day and getting
wasn't
my inspirational Braveheart coaching speeches before each race.
Meet day sucked so much.
You had to actually run. in,
No,
like, the
because
right way.
he's the head coach. He's setting up the tent. I'm there like 7 o'clock in the morning. The sun is still coming up. And my group's not running till the very end of the day because we're 8th graders. And so I'm sitting there just with the kindergartners. None of my friends are there because they're or they skip it because they're going to a Titans game or they're at church. And I don't like going to church. I would much rather been at church than sit there all day in the sun. It was like, can I get it's hot out here. Can I get an ice cone? Like, no, you can't get an ice cone. You got to run later. I'm like, this is like,
You can have an orange.
I didn't want an orange. I wanted an ice cream cone.
That was going to make you sick.
Then I would have gotten sick.
Have you heard our favorite Owen cross country story, Sophia?
I don't think so. I don't think I've heard any Owen cross country story, really.
So Owen in kindergarten did not want to run cross country. This was before I was coaching him, and would habitually feign illness or sickness or just quit kind of in the middle. He only had to run 3/4 of a mile, right? Not far. We could see him for most of the time, and he would walk a lot. And the first couple times just says, okay, look, you need to try. Everyone else is trying. Why don't you try? So he says, okay. So he starts off the third time, I think, maybe it was the second. He starts running. We're going, yeah, go on. We're all cheering. Yeah. And we noticed he's kind of fading towards the back. And we're going, what's he doing? He's faster than that. I don't know what he's doing. And so I go to look out on the course to see where he is. And I see, he's still ahead of like 2 kids at the end. It's all right, cool. Yeah, he's not going to be last. God, I don't want to have the kid who's last. So he's running. He's looking back, right? He starts zigzagging. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? And I thought his mom comes to find him. What is he doing? He's all the way in the back. And then we see one kid pass him, and then he's kind of looking back at the last very last child behind him. He kind of stops, looks at him, starts kind of faking running again, looks back, starts weaving around on the course again till that person passes. Sorry. So it ends on the track at St. Cecilia, or Overbrook at the time, right?
It ended in a grass. They didn't have the track at the time, so it was just like a grass field at the time.
So they're coming into the end, and everyone, it had to have been like an hour. We're waiting on these kindergartners to finish. It felt like an hour. It was probably only like 10, 15 minutes because it was only 3/4 of a mile. But it felt like forever. And everyone's going, oh, and he's the last one, very last one. Cross the line. And we go, son, why did you wait till the end to cross the line? And you could have beat at least 2 people. But last is a place and everybody cheers just the same. I had no answer after that. Like, that's true.
Wow.
You're gonna make me run. I didn't say I was gonna do good.
Wow.
You also get
So funny.
Also, all the pretty older girls cheered more for the little boy in last than they did for the boy in first because they feel bad for the boy in last.
I mean, that's fair.
His comment was, "I'm not going to be first, so
may as well be last.
What's the most memorable place other than first?
If you're not first, you're last. Either way, so
yeah."
Which, when you think about Owen now, is a stark contrast to who he is now. And I don't think Owen would ever want to be last in anything.
Has to win everything.
Yeah.
Even your
It's shocking how competitive you became in college.
Well, there's also middle school and stuff. And I threw a chair at someone during one of our basketball games.
I don't remember. Was that when I was coaching you?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
It was at Covenant.
It wasn't memorable.
Oh yeah. Well, we were getting our tail beat. Yeah.
Yeah, and I threw a chair. Because it was
at another child? Or just like you threw a chair?
It was either at another child or at a coach. I can't remember.
Oh, good.
Might have been Mr. Nice
Wow.
Wonder. I can't remember.
What
What are you gonna do about that?
are you gonna do?
You gonna stop a kid from throwing a chair? Come on.
No.
Who
would want to do
Who would want to do that? Okay, so now what we usually do is actually, side note, other than me, who was your least favorite of my friends to coach? Can't pick me.
Oh, to coach?
To coach, like who was your least favorite, or who was the hardest one of my friends to coach?
The hardest to coach.
I'm not asking who the worst player was. I'm asking who's the hardest one to coach.
Well, usually the worst one was always the hardest one to coach.
Okay.
They just didn't get it. I don't want to name names.
You can name names.
Because they may listen. But it was a child during cross country who told me it was much too hot outside to be running, coach. And
What?
I feel I'm sweltering and I may not make it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. That was very frustrating.
You were so pissed. Just run.
I was pretty unhappy. That's not even including the 2 brothers who got in a fight, and I had to kick them off the team. They were not that fast.
The cross country team?
Yeah.
Were they my grade?
No.
Oh.
They were a couple years below you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know who. Yeah.
Cross country had all the drama.
Well, it's because every kid in the school was doing it, because everyone's parents they can just run off whatever they didn't do in the summer, and then also parents also good preparation for other sports leading up into the year. No.
The real thing about cross country is if they went to cross country, that was a sport and they didn't have to pay aftercare
Yeah, it's free daycare.
for someone to keep their kids.
Yeah.
So I got stuck with all the kids who didn't want to do cross country. And there was one time that I did make a kindergartner cry, which was a little upsetting because I had to keep order and I shouted a lot. And it was usually at Owen's grade or the grade right below Owen's that required a lot of yelling, or 3 grades below.
Not surprised at all.
Because you don't scare us.
You guys had it. I will give this to you. You at least had enough respect and foresight to know that when I hit a certain volume, it was time to sit down and shut up.
Yeah, which my kids don't understand that.
The sooner you quit, the sooner you got out.
Yeah. How'd you feel about this is a memory that comes up a lot with talks with my friends. When it was either soccer or cross country, we ran into the porta potties while we're doing like drills. You remember that?
No, I mean, not particularly.
No, I just remember he was pissed.
What happened?
So we SBA shared a field with Ronald McDonald House, and we'd because it was in between both, and we would practice there for cross country or in soccer. I think it was cross country, and then there were porta potties set up there for some reason. We don't know why, but they were unlocked and there, and so some of us would because we're at the point where we're running drills like back and forths. We're touching one fence, come back. Some people, I think Joseph was one of them. Sean Fahey was another. Got in the porta potties. Would wait a second, then come out.
I don't remember that, but I had to punish you guys so much it was just old hat at that point.
I remember there was one time. There was one time where you had to punish us, and it was one of those moments where you had to pretend to be mad. We were getting changed for soccer practice in the boys' locker room, and that year they had made the boys' locker room significantly smaller to give a person an office. So cut the locker room in half because her office used to be part of the boys' locker room, and so she now shares a direct wall, a very thin wall, with the boys' locker room. It is after school hours. We're all excited. It's just great because it's 3:00 on a Friday. We're changing into our soccer stuff to go to practice, and we're having a fun time. We're axe spray, belt on it, throwing it. The magnetic belt's just whipping people with it. Taking our other our shirts and just putting over someone's head and then shoving them in a locker. Just having a good time. But it's a boys' locker room. After school, we're not doing this during school. We're oh, okay, it's after hours. We can do whatever the hell we want.
That's how that works.
And then there's a teacher waiting outside for us. She also, in hindsight, she wasn't a teacher. She
was a resource.
She was our study
member.
Teacher. She would teach
counselor or something.
She would teach computer lab too. But before her, it was Miss Kitchell, the librarian, doing that. And Miss Kitchell did a much better job, in my opinion, than this new person. And
she wasn't a real teacher.
She's not a real teacher.
Yeah.
Literally, all of her classes, except for computer lab for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, was resource, which is just study hall. So she was just kind of like an extra body there, Okay. And she's just waiting outside, and she's talking to he's out there with her, and she's complaining to him because we're being loud and obnoxious. Because it's
probably were.
I'm not saying we were.
Yeah, it's all right.
And then she's like,
"What do you want me to do about it?"
She's talking, and he's trying to think of a way to scold us. I just remember looking at it, and because I'm standing next to Aiden, who was. You've met Aiden. But it's my best friend, middle school, right. And he and I know him so well just from because we were always on the same team for everything, and we look at him trying to make something and Evan Scruggs. It was me, Evan, and Aiden. We're all just kind of standing there because Evan's dad was the assistant coach, so Evan knows also when he gets, so we're just kind of all three of us kind of sitting there, just it's like when you see your friend get in trouble and next person who laughs is getting in trouble. was like, God, we can't laugh because she isn't a real teacher, but she has the power to give us citations. So
Sounds like she was a real teacher.
she was not a real teacher. This is the E button. Thank you. We knew that already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway, so now we're gonna move on to life updates, whatnot, what we usually do. Okay, I didn't.
There was also the kid that I gave a concussion to in basketball.
He was subbing in for because 7th and 8th grade.
No, I was
It was 7th and 8th grade.
no, it was 6th grade.
Oh, because you gave it to Ian, right?
Yeah,
No,
I passed him the ball.
it was 7th grade because in 7th and 8th grade, the head coaches changed. It was no longer parents anymore. So in 7th and 8th grade, for the junior varsity team, it was our principal and vice principal. And then the varsity team was our PE teacher, who also set up all the Catholic diocese sporting events.
Oh.
Yeah. So also a reason why we won all of our games in 7th grade. He had no faith in our team to make it in varsity for soccer. So he put us in the junior varsity league. And we went
That makes
undefeated.
sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
We destroyed.
There was one game against St. Matthew where I almost got a yellow card because they stopped keeping count after we scored 5 goals after 5 minutes. And we were up to like something. And that was also the point where like we let Henry Mangialardi, who's really good at soccer, he went to Father Ryan, who's in the grade above us.
Sure.
He's really good at soccer. We let him go in goal, and we put Will Brown, who was our goalie, go out and be like
Those were the
midfielder.
best games. Oh my God. The only
I people got mad at me for that. It's like, look, I can't help it. You just need to play better.
Yeah. But no, in 7th grade when he gave Ian the concussion, because our vice principal and principal had like a meeting, like because they're head of the schools. They're at a meeting, and so they asked him and Mr. Bote to come in and coach like that practice, because Mr. Bote was the other head coach other than my dad, like because we're red and white teams. And then so my dad's just like, finally another chance, and then he passes the ball to this kid, and in 7th grade, that was the year a lot of people, 7th grades, the year a lot of people decided who they've never played basketball before, decided to play basketball for the first time. Nice. Joseph was one of those people.
Okay.
Made me so mad.
Did he try and trade Yu-Gi-Oh cards in basketball?
That is how that's how they know Joseph. Remember when Joseph?
That's the only thing I remember from soccer. Playing against St. Bernard, 7th grade.
He would go, "You got Yu-Gi-Oh cards?" He was I said, like, yeah, Joseph. I said that to her one time, like theater or some shit, and she's like, she looks like, "You're the Yu-Gi-Oh card kid."
Oh my God, it's hilarious.
But the concussion, he just passed the ball to him. This kid's not coordinated anyway, and he thought he could play because he knew the rules. He read the rules, so thought he could play, and just goes through his hands and hits him in the face. He also didn't play for a bit because he had to get surgery on his toe.
Oh.
For a hangnail.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was fun. Other than that,
knowing the rules does not give you skill.
Yeah, the worst was when I think my least favorite part was like, we need more tall people, and it's picture day in 8th grade, and it's just like we're sitting there. Mr. Sable comes up to me and says, "Hey, how tall's Joe?" I'm like, I don't know. He's pretty tall than me. He's pretty tall. He's like, "Can you go get him for me?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." And because he's in class, English class, I was like, "Hey, Joe, Mr. Sable wants to see you down in the gym for some reason." And Joe's like, "Okay." We walked down back to the gym, and he's just like, "Joe, have you ever played basketball before?" He's like, "No, but you're pretty tall, right?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm taller than all the people in my grade." He's like, "Yeah, would you want to play basketball?" And Joe's like, "I guess." I'm like, "What the fuck is this?"
Been taller.
Well, the part that pissed me off 8th grade was there was a kid who got on varsity 8th grade that wasn't other than me, and he was so bad at basketball. He scored 1 goal the entire season. It was on his own basket. And
do that in basketball.
I don't know. The only reason I was on junior varsity was Mr. Sabo said, "Yeah, I remember you saying last year you wanted to be on junior varsity again." I was like, I don't think I said that, Mr. Sabo. And I'm not gonna argue with him because I love Mr. Sabo so much. He was an awesome principal, and I didn't want to upset him. But I was visibly upset. Like, no, I wanted to be on varsity with Jack and Aiden, my friends. We might lose all of our games, but it'll be like
if you ever need to derail a conversation, start asking Owen about how varsity and junior varsity basketball went in SBA. It will totally set him off. He will go nuts for like half an hour.
I've noticed.
It was rigged.
And he's
Yeah.
definitely talked about this before.
Rigged.
Oh, all the time.
Your 7th and 8th
So
grade.
if you ever just need to stop a conversation, then you can walk away and do nothing.
They
It's like,
gave-
My favorite is how
They'll be
they're
ranting about it.
They gave the basketball award to who they felt bad for, not the kid who earned it, which was me. And it sounds vain and conceited, but you remember that one game I scored like all
Probably
those?
because it is.
No, remember the one game where you didn't let me go because we had to go to one of Sarah's stupid gymnastics meets? Because it was a double
Hey,
game.
now.
We played one in St. Bernard, and the one I missed was the fun one where we get to play at Father Ryan. I missed that game.
Oh no.
I know. I wanted to do it. And then I come back from the weekend. It's Monday. I'm talking to someone who's like, how'd the second basketball game go? I was like, oh, we lost significantly. I was like, what happened? I was like, well, you weren't there to be point guard, so we had 4 different people try to be point guard. It was,
You would have single-handedly saved your team.
I would have made it not 40-0, which is a lot in the middle. Because the night of Friday night, it's so bad. It's so bad.
He was the Kobe of the junior varsity team.
We had plays designated where it's just like I would raise my fist. The rest of my teammates would go to the other side of the court, and I would just go do a layup because that's how unhelpful. Remember those plays that they called up, and then we did those like a couple times, and the other team figured it out. So they'd just all come on me, and they'd leave the rest of them over there, and I get the ball to them, and then they miss the ball. Someone got the basketball award because they hit a free throw and it hit the ceiling. It went straight up and down. Up and down, and that's the reason they explained it. It's like, I've never seen a kid hit a free throw and it just hit the ceiling. This kid gets the award. I'm like, this is some fucking bullshit. Some bullshit right here.
Is this why you play so many intramurals? You're trying to make up for this?
I want a shirt. I want an intramural shirt.
I think it's really funny that we started this conversation with the whole cross country story. Of you being last.
Yeah.
I just-
Anyway, back to life updates.
Totally.
Life
Back to the
updates.
place.
180.
180. Let's go to life updates. So,
Okay.
do you have anything big, or do you want me to go into mine first while you think of something?
I mean, I don't really have anything big. I'm kind of just doing my MBA and working. Like, I don't really have much going on right now.
Where are you doing your MBA at, Sophia?
LSU.
Oh, what?
Yeah. It's fully online. It's cheaper than a lot of the other programs I found, and it's asynchronous. It's easy. I can do it in a year. So I wasn't exactly happy about it, but UT's is absorbently expensive. So I didn't want to stay in Knoxville another year. So I was like, okay. So yeah,
That's fair.
I'm in LSU. Not quite happy about it, but that's where it is.
This reindeer movie is like really weird.
What is it?
I don't know.
What are you watching?
We're on because we still had the game on, and it went from the SEC championship to this weird animated reindeer snowman movie where they're hunting down like a demon. So, but it's for kids.
Hunting down a demon.
Okay.
Is that thing not a demon? I don't know. It might just be like the antithesis of Christmas, which is just capitalism at some point. But my big life updates. So Sophia saw it on my phone. Nothing really too big. Graduating in 2 weeks. I have fun girl updates though.
I got the other one.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So one of them.
So
What?
one, just one,
I got two. I got two fun updates.
two.
That one. That's a funny story. But
Oh,
you didn't see that one. You saw the GIF one.
I saw it. I just didn't really process what it was.
Oh,
I just was like,
Okay.
oh. I was
So
thrown off by
the first one. I
It
was
would require a level of interest she didn't have.
at. So I was at lunch with our friend Anna, who was 3 grades below us at Father Ryan, Mario Lopez. I was with Mario Lopez, and I'm going through Tinder and whatnot, and I was like, "What should I send this girl?" I matched her, and she's like, "You should send her like a GIF of like Batman or something," because she was dressed up as Batman in her profile for Halloween. I was like,
Okay.
"That's a good one." So and when you send a GIF on Tinder, you can't really see what the full GIF is because it's like really small. But what I saw was the bat signal up and just kind of Batman sitting there. I was like, that would be a good conversation starter. I sent it. And then after I sent it, I saw the movement of the GIF. I'm like, what is that? And I look at it, and it's the bat signal and it's Batman's silhouette, but there's a stream of piss coming from Batman.
Nice.
So
I take it she hasn't responded.
no, I will immediately after was like, I'm so sorry. I did not see that Batman was pissing in this GIF. My bad. No response.
I mean, I wouldn't respond to
She,
that.
she probably thinks you're into peeing now. You know, that's golden
I think it was some weird pee.
showers or whatever.
Like
That's
kinks are
it's a little
hereditary.
freaky, son.
Did not know that.
In a Batman suit.
There's a study that kinks are hereditary. No.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, the second story is happened this past weekend after the Bandy game. So I was hanging
Okay.
with our friend Ella.
Yes.
Ella.
Yes, where you broke her.
I did not break her. It was her. We'll talk about that later.
What?
I did not break her.
Crazy.
What? Oh,
Phrasing.
phrasing? Oh, okay. She was just a little
She was just hungover.
hungover the next day. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't break her.
No, that's what I said. But anyway, so
That's a very different thing.
we're hanging out at the game. I was pissed off because our seats were in row 42, but before the game
Oh,
started,
what?
nobody was there, so we snuck into like seat 20, row 22, and then
You
as we're- we're moving down. At one point in the game,
Okay.
we're next to this girl. Let's call her Phyllis. So yeah, so Phyllis
That's a
is
very
like
old lady name.
what?
That's a very old lady name.
Well, I'm not going to give
it
her.
it evokes a picture of a girl that is not very attractive, but
Well,
very
I
old.
just think of Phyllis from
Well,
The
her
Office,
name is
so-
Phyllis. Her name here is going to be Phyllis or
You
Patrice.
couldn't Think of that's not better.
Patrice
It's not
is
a
better.
normal name.
I don't know.
Like,
I thought I'd make the story more.
Tiffany or
No, it's Phyllis. It's Phyllis. It's Phyllis. It's Phyllis. God. Anyway,
Andy, Stephanie.
yeah.
so Phyllis, I was standing to my left at the game, okay, and then she just starts
Okay.
talking to me about random stuff, like because I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. I'm trying to watch. You know what I am at the games. I'm just trying to watch the fucking game, and it's been pretty exciting because there was a fight that had to be separated by 2 lines of police officers, so it was awesome. The game was pretty fun. Fuck Vandy. But we keep talking, and she's just talking. At one point, we talk about we got to NFL football, and she said she has box seats in Arrowhead, which is fun.
That's crazy.
But she
Yeah.
doesn't like Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift because she was trying to get to her box seats, and all the Swifties were blocking her family's way to the.
Oh,
Which I said
Same.
that sucks. Watching the Vandy games, like, yeah, that sucks so much. Yeah.
Wow.
And then she's talking about her family knows Brew McCoy and his family, which I was like, oh, that's cool. That piqued my interest.
That actually
That
is
piqued
cool.
my interest. She also said her box seats are next to the Mahomes family. I'm like,
Oh,
cool.
okay.
Yeah. And then we're talking, and then she's like, yeah. I mean, my family's friends with him since he went to Washington. I was like, he went. And I didn't say it because she's talking, and I didn't want to like ruin this conversation. But my thought was, he transferred to UT from USC, not Washington. That's what my thought was. Anywho, so she keeps talking and whatnot, and then at some point, she looks at Ella, leans over and asks her, they're talking, chatting, and then she's like, she has to go take a group photo with her friends because it's everyone's last home game as a student, and Ella's like, she likes you. I'm like, what? I was like, well, she really likes you. I'm like, what? How can you tell? I was like, well, she asked if you were single, if we were dating. I said, and then I was like, no, gross. And she's like, that's what I said. And then,
Got it.
well, and then she didn't believe that Ella and I weren't dating.
Mm.
She didn't believe that I was single. And I'm like, that's the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah. That's
Where
shocking.
someone's like, are you sure he's single? I'm like, usually the question is,
Positive.
the question is usually, are you sure he's not gay? I'm like, I'm positive he's not gay. I can promise you that. But
I can't promise anything.
I can't-
I still the jury's still out.
fuck
on
you.
that one.
Anyway, so then the game ends, and then I go to Cool Beans, hang out with Mikey and his dad. But that was so much fun. Mr. Lenahan, you and Mr. Lenahan would get along swimmingly, Dad. But
Mm,
anyway, so we're hanging out at the bar, and then I run into her again, and we're chatting.
Phyllis.
I run into Phyllis. Sorry, I didn't have to clear. I run into Phyllis again.
syphilis? Syphilis?
Not syphilis, Phyllis. Phyllis.
Phyllis. Oh, I thought you said syphilis.
Stop.
Sorry.
Anyway.
My fault.
I run to Phyllis. We're chatting. What? No. And she said, "Hey, you should come find me later." I'm like, "Okay." And then I go do my stuff. And then I run to her again at the bar, and she's talking. She's like, "You're really cute." I'm like, "Okay. Do you want my number?" She's like, "Yeah, I'll take your number. You're gonna text me, right? You're gonna text me." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll text you. I'll text you." I text her when I got back to the table. I was like, I'm at the table. She's like, "Cool," because she's like, "Text me to get back to where you're hanging out with." I'm like, "Okay." And then at this point, Mike is already gone, so I got Josh to come hang out with me. So it's me and Josh hanging out outside. It's so cold outside, by the way. This is point of the story, because then she comes out, sits down with me and Josh, starts chatting with me. Josh leaves because he's tired because he just got off work. And we're chatting for a bit. We're having a good time. She's laughing at all my jokes. I'm like, either I'm really funny or this girl has never heard a joke before. So it's probably the latter. But she's like laughing at everything. Then somehow either I made a joke about religion or she brought it up in conversation. It got to the point where she asked me like, "Hey, do you go to church every Sunday?" I was like, "No." I'm like, "Do you?"
Owen's like, of course not. Who does that?
"Do you?" She's like, "Yeah, I go to church every Holy Days of Obligation." Damn it. I've been thinking about that all week. Because I lied to her and said I go on Christmas and Easter. I don't.
So you were gonna tell her you go on Holy Days of Obligation?
Yes, I was like, "There's a name for it," and she's like,
Like my birthday?
"Yes, your birthday is a holy day of obligation, All Saints Day."
That is-
wow.
Yes. No, but no, I didn't.
So you don't go to church?
No, I don't go to church. No, I was just like, I was thinking of the name because she's like, "There's a name for those days, and people who go on those days," and she's like, "Fake Christians." I'm like, "No, that's not. That's not the word. That's the word she said. It was that word.
Priesters.
Yeah, creaster. It was weird. It was a
Only go
weird
on
word.
Christmas and Easter.
Yeah,
Priesters.
weird. I was like, "No, that's there's an official name. I went to Catholic school. I know the name."
I swear. I used to go to church every week.
And well,
I promise.
And then she asked me like, and we're both pretty drunk, so it's just weird that she keeps asking me these questions about my religion.
you
like-
also just met. So it's
We just met
strange
earlier
thing
that day,
to
and she was like
just
she
be
was
going
like-
for it right off the bat.
like all over me, like wanted like think I was cute, kept asking me questions, kept coming over to me and stuff. I'm like, "Yeah, okay, cool." Then she asked me like, "So what would you do if someone said to you that the Lord's not real? How would you affirm your faith to them?" I'm like, "What type of question is that?"
Like I just met you at a football game.
And I'm
or at
like-
a bar.
And I went to I'm a little drunk, but I went to my thought process, you know? I was like, I can't give her like a super liberal answer, I feel like. Because she's asking me about religion in a bar on a Saturday night. She's more than likely conservative. So I went the patriotic route to answer this question. I went to because like if I can't answer her the religious way, maybe I can get her with my U.S. love, which I have a lot of, my patriotism.
Yes.
And I said, "Well,
No.
I responded with, "That's what you believe? Good for you. I believe our Lord and Savior is Jesus Christ. But you have the right to believe what you want, even though I might think it's wrong." And then I did that.
That was not the right answer.
Clearly not. But well, then I was able to like
No.
switch the conversation back to like another thing, and we started talking about like Disney Channel shows. And well, it's
That's such a down.
but you know how good I am at like distracting, like going from one topic to the other. I'm just like subverting things. I did it last night at the bar because we were talking about like, "Oh, and why don't?" Because they were talking about the boys were talking about like, "Oh, why don't you have a girlfriend? Why can't you go on any dates?" And I'm like, "What about Josh?
This is
Look
a
at
great
Josh's
example.
problem. Look at Josh's problem. Look what Josh just did this past 2 months." It's like, they're like, "Josh, why did you do that?" And I'm like, whew, and Joseph's giving me a look. I'm like, business. What I
Hey,
learned.
I think this is a very good topic. Why can't you get a girl, son? Is it because you don't believe in going to church?
Listen, man, the
Sounds
conversation
like
the
it.
conversation right now is back to my story of how I got left at the bar. That spoiler alert. So so then we're chatting, we're talking about Swift on dicks. Like you're gonna think I'm so weird, and so what? Because she kept saying something like, "I don't want to sound like this way,
God,
but
I hate
you know,"
that. That's
and because you and I both have that belief, Dad, that anything before the word "but" is complete.
God, don't drag me down to hell with you, son.
No, not the whole religious crap.
I go to church.
I go to church every week.
Okay. No, but anything before the word "but" is complete and utter horseshit. That's yeah. So she's like, I don't want to sound like conceited or this is gonna sound so bad, but I lived the sweet life on deck. I'm like, what? And she pulls up her Instagram and she's just like showing me photos when she did like semester abroad on a cruise ship. I'm like a lot of people hate me because of that, because I'm just flaunting like my stuff. Like,
Oh, when you say it
I
like
mean,
that.
like,
She did a semester abroad, but she wasn't actually on the sweet life.
I mean, she was on a cruise ship, so it's
She did
essentially,
school.
Yeah.
which is
On the
essentially,
show.
which is sweet
She
life.
wasn't on the show.
Yeah, no.
Much like the show, she did school on the ship and then went to fantastical places.
But she wasn't on the show.
No, she was not on the
That's
show.
yes.
No, she
Yeah.
lived the sweet life on deck. No. Anyway, she's talking about that. I'm like, yeah, that's
Did
cool.
you go to church on the ship?
I don't know. Probably not. It's probably just the captain being like, Poseidon will guide us through
Why
these.
don't you text her and ask?
What? Why did I didn't hear what you said? I was
You should
going on
text
my
her and
little.
ask.
What? What? I didn't ask.
You should text her and ask if she went to church on the ship.
Oh, I don't think I will. No, because we're talking for a bit, and she's like, "I'm gonna go to the bathroom. You're gonna be right here, right?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be right here." She's like, "You're not gonna leave, right?" And so clearly, she gets left by a lot of people, places, because she had to
It sounds
make
good.
sure that I stayed there. I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, whatever. She's got to come back because she's got a full Coors I just bought her. I got a Bud Light. I'm drinking it, and then I finished my Bud Light. It's been about 15 minutes. I'm like, I mean, it's the girls'
I
bathroom.
was gonna say that's not long enough for
It's the girls'
Cool
bathroom.
Beans bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. But I also looked at the time. It's like 2:00. There's nobody in Cool Beans. It's also Thanksgiving weekend.
She had to get home to get to church in the morning.
Yeah.
We'll get there. So then I'm at there for probably about 40 minutes to an hour, just in the.
Ooh,
I'm like, yeah, I'm just.
That's some-
you're a dummy.
Well, also, I kind of lost track of time. I was just on TikTok too, so I was kind of scrolling through. I was like, but I noticed like I had to have been here for a while because I have switched my hands like 5 times from the cold. And then I was like, oh shit, I've been sitting here for an hour. I'm like, where is she? And then I was like, she probably just left. She's not coming back. So I took her drink because like I was pretty drunk. I'm not gonna drink this and throw up the next one. So I just poured it out on the grass. And then I walk in to warm up my hands, go use the bathroom real quick. She's at the dartboard with a full Coors talking to some other dudes. I'm like, well, okay. I'm going to piss and go home. And I did. And when I left, I texted her like, hey, I'm going home. I'm tired and cold. And then I can show you what she responded with. Hold up. It's,
You don't even have her name in your phone.
no, I was going to put it in there. But
Number.
she left me on there. She said,
Oh wait, no, there's a lot of conversation.
oh, that's just
no.
from the bar stuff. She's trying to find where I am. Like, she said, wait, here, I'm heading home. I'm cold and tired. She said, wait, now you. I'm like, I don't know what that wait, now you means. I said, question mark. And then I said, currently making spaghetti at my apartment. And I sent a picture of boiling water on a stove.
And that's the end of the conversation.
That's the end of the conversation. I thought that was the end of it. I was wrong.
You were eating spaghetti at 3:00 in the morning?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, wait, you thought this was the end of it?
I thought it was, yeah, thanks for interruption, Dad.
You're welcome.
The king of interruption.
I was distracted by the spaghetti.
Oh, okay.
Reasonable.
But I thought it was over, and then I'm working out at T-Rex Tuesday night. And then I'm doing like bicep curls, and then I look up and she's walking by. She's an administrative staff at T-Rex.
Did you talk to her?
No, she didn't see me. I put my hood up. I had a hat on, I put my hood up. And then I'm like, wait. And then at some point, mid-curl, I'm like, why am I hiding? She left me outside. What the fuck? So I took my hood off and I just went about. And then it was when I was leaving, I got my backpack. I put on. She made eye contact with me. I just smiled and walked up the stairs. No.
She just said something.
No, I'm good. You left me outside for an hour. Did I know?
That was a great story, son.
What?
That was a great story.
I thought it was a great story. It's woman left me in cold. I go home, make spaghetti. Everyone has a happy ending.
Do they?
I had spaghetti. She did not.
Okay.
Whoever gets the spaghetti in the end is the winner. So, Yeah.
I had spaghetti for dinner.
Ah, see,
Sounds pretty
see,
good.
winter spaghetti dinner. There we go.
That's fun.
That should go on a
Give me some
t-shirt.
spaghetti
Winter
for
spaghetti.
I'm still going to church tomorrow, though.
Okay, good for you. Have fun sitting in the same homily every week. It's the same, or like a fake homily. It's just like, once knew that it's the John Mulaney skit, like where it's like, I once knew this kid who did this. And he's like, what name, Father? Give us references. Because there's always like a fake homily.
Yeah.
And it's like, this one kid did this one thing. And then he found the Lord, just like Jeremiah did in the lion's den. I'm
I
like,
think that's not how ours was.
at St. Henry's?
Yeah, no. Ours
Yeah.
was more just like our priest like rehashing the story, that like the gospel reading. It wasn't like giving examples of like, oh,
Well,
I knew this. Like sometimes it was, but it normally was just like him being like, this is what the story means.
That's
So,
what
yeah.
I heard. That's all I heard at St. Henry's when I went. It was just like, this is much like this one time where this one kid did this. I'm like, I don't care.
At St. Henry?
Yeah. On Sunday.
100% this podcast is going to offend everybody.
Good. Be offended. I don't care.
Just so we know.
Oh, no.
I got the moms on my side. So
Do you?
I got
You
the
just
moms
said
on
you
my
don't
side.
believe in God.
I got moms and no, never mind. I was gonna say moms and I was gonna do I got God and anime on my side. You know that meme?
Yes.
Yeah. But do you have, other than Big Love, other than that, you work in your MBA, me being left at the bar?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm kind of just, I bought a wedding dress yesterday.
Oh.
Oh, congratulations.
I already had a wedding dress.
Oh.
Bought a different one.
Oh.
And returning the first one. So yeah, I mean, that's about it. That's the update.
So you have 2 wedding
No,
dresses.
I returned the first one.
Oh, you already returned it?
Well, yeah, my mom dropped it off this morning.
Okay.
Because it had to be returned by Tuesday.
Oh, so you have
Yes.
1 wedding dress now.
Yeah, just the one now. So I've got to wait for it to come in. But yes, I've just owned the one at
Yes,
the moment. I
yes.
paid for the one. So
Yes.
that's my big update.
Nothing. Yeah.
That's about
Your
it.
wedding
I
up-
don't have a
Your wedding
timeline.
updates. There's
Yeah.
nothing really on the groom side either. Just like, well, at least in the group chat wise, since the big spurt.
Phrasing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. No, it's not. I'm interested to see how
So
that
do
goes.
you have any fun advice for a person getting married, Sophia, after
You're
years
not
of
the one
marriage?
getting married?
No, I refuse to get married until later in my 30s or later 20s, early 30s.
Okay, Owen. Refuse to?
You want real advice or do you want
Whatever
like dad?
you're feeling.
So dad advice is, always be willing to talk about whatever's going on. The biggest problems with any marriage is that people just don't share, and always be willing to give each other time away from each other.
That's good advice.
Because
You're getting
You're-
sincere advice.
some
Nice.
alone time is always helpful.
You gave her real genuine advice. Wait,
Yeah.
what is this?
She said whatever I was feeling. That's what I was feeling, dummy.
This is some bullshit. What the fuck?
Not my fault. Here's my life update. I just beat Sophia in fantasy football, and I'm number 3 in your league, so I should probably make the playoffs. And I'm number 1 in my work league.
I
There
don't know
you
if
go.
that's really impressive.
That's
I
a-
think everybody's beat me this year.
You know,
I have
Sophia gives up after week 2 every
2
year.
weeks. No. I don't give up. I'll still fix my line. The problem is, if I don't draft a good lineup at the beginning, I'm not gonna go through and like trade players, pick up new people, drop things, unless like someone's injured and I literally don't have a player. Like I don't.
Then
I'll
why
put-
even bother?
What?
Why even bother?
Because like I'll put the effort in at the beginning, but I'm not actually.
I'm just baffled that your dad is still like
God, I'm done.
first place,
That-
second place.
That doesn't give me a lot of hope for your marriage.
Do you let John help you draft your team? Is that why it's so bad?
No,
No.
I just.
Because he's going to listen to this and I don't really care. John, your team sucks.
Where is he? Where are you?
I'm 4th.
No.
I lost to your dad by 0.1 points, and then I lost to Jacob
Yeah.
by 0.1 points. So
You should have drafted better.
I
Yeah,
did.
no.
I beat Aiden. So
Oh, there you go.
I've kept Aiden out of the
that's
playoffs.
just not- I just don't.
Your fiance has faith that he can make the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's like, if I just do this, and if you and your dad lose, like, we're not losing, John. We're not letting you in.
No.
Yeah.
Why would I let you in?
No.
I remember at your engagement party, your dad admitted, like, yeah, fun fact, I changed. Your dad has the same method with his fantasy team, but it works for him.
Yeah.
He just changed. He said, I think I made 2 changes last year, and I won my entire league. I'm like, damn it, damn it.
He also drafts very differently than everybody else.
Yeah, he took Patrick Mahomes in the first round.
And it's working.
That was
for him.
crazy. That was crazy. McCaffrey was sitting right there.
It's working out. Well, he didn't know McCaffrey was going to get a touchdown every single game.
No,
So-
not every single game. He did,
Almost every single game.
He didn't get.
He didn't break the record.
He didn't get one
was
against the
tied for
Jaguars,
record.
surprisingly. No.
Whatever it was that was going to
Yeah.
give him
No,
the stand
but
record.
yeah, no. Fantasy football's going fun. Should we do it again next year, or I don't know? I feel like half the people are kind of half-assing it.
I'll do it, but I'll put in the same amount of effort I've put in the last 2 years.
You know what's funny? Joseph said stop putting the effort in our league because
Yeah.
he cares about the boys
He
league.
never put in effort in our league.
Well,
He
last
didn't
year-
draft his team.
Well, he never drafts his team, but last year he didn't even know how to edit his team. Remember?
Oh, now he does.
Remember? Well, because last year halfway I showed him how to do it, and then he almost made it to the playoffs.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. But he puts a lot of effort into our boys league that we got. Last week he was tied for last with Austin and Chase.
I feel like Joseph doesn't pay all that much attention to football all the time.
Well, he's like at one point he said, I think I might start Sam Howell over Patrick Mahomes for the rest of the season. I'm like, what?
Why?
Because he's like, Sam Howell gets a lot of points. But
If he gets
Sam Howell has a high ceiling, but Patrick Mahomes has a high floor, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes.
he also starts. He loves Kyle Pitts for some reason. He just starts Kyle Pitts every week for like 6 weeks. Like, why won't Kyle Pitts do good? Because it's Kyle Pitts, Joseph.
so random.
Yeah, he has a lot of investment in shitty players.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like my good players have been so far. So
yeah. So, you got anything else you want to add, Dad? Any more fun stuff?
was that all there?
Fun stuff? No, I don't think there's anything fun other than my domination of fantasy football, but that's it.
Domination. No. It's fine. But would you want to come back on here with Sophia's dad at some
If
point?
he'll do it.
If Sophia's dad will do it.
Sure. I love getting Owen riled up because that's easy.
Why do you want to get me riled up?
It's
It's
fun to
not
watch.
It's pretty funny.
It's not funny.
It's a little funny.
It's not funny.
It's a little funny.
Why does that kid have a puppet? What? Sorry, the weird reindeer movie's back, and this kid's got
It's
a
been
weird
on the
puppet.
whole
I
time.
know, but I just saw the puppet for the first time. So okay, wait. Oh, who's winning the Michigan game right now? Because that's going on. Hold up.
Visual references to stuff your audience can't see is always amusing.
You know what? I don't want you on this call anymore. Leave. Go home. I mean, you are home. Get off the call.
This is great.
How do I kick people off calls? Hold on.
Love you, son.
Hold up. Here we go. Boo. Oh, I can
Yeah,
mute him.
Snake, just
I can mute him. Okay. He's been
I think he can
muted.
unmute himself.
Oh, he can unmute himself?
I think so.
Try to unmute yourself. You can't.
Oh,
Oh,
what is that?
oh, he unmuted himself.
Hey.
And turned the video off.
Yeah.
So he can unmute himself.
Yeah.
Okay. But
So
Michigan is beating Iowa 10-0 right now, and Louisville and Florida State is tied 0-0. And it's the start of the second quarter for both.
who are you going for?
I want Iowa to win.
Really?
Well, nobody wants because they produce such personalities such as George Kittle.
What about Florida State, Louisville?
Florida State.
Why?
That's fair.
I like their uniforms.
Sure.
Yeah. Also, it's just funny because Louisville lost to Kentucky. I kind of want to see them do that downward trend. So,
They're the Seminoles. That's Casino Indian.
Scott, stop.
I haven't heard it that way.
Well, I I used to say Indian with a horse.
No, okay, so
No, no, no,
we're
wait, I
gonna
wanna hear it, I
we're
wanna
gonna
hear it.
wrap this up before. What the fuck is Robbie the reindeer?
How
Okay.
am I the one that's in trouble when you're swearing at reindeer?
Swears can't get me canceled unless I say like
Really?
slurs or something. I'm not doing any of that. You're saying like racial
Sorry.
stuff. Yeah, mom's not gonna listen to this episode.
I'm not denigrating anybody. I'm just identifying them.
No, stop. Don't support this. Don't do that. If your dad
It's
gets,
like
I've heard other ways.
you're half Mexican Asian.
I'm half. Fuck you.
That's
I'm
what
not
we are.
Mexican Asian.
That's what we are.
Ew. Sorry. Hold on. Let's see if we can get this. Look at this reindeer. Look how gross that
What's
looks.
going on right now?
Look how gross that reindeer looks. Yeah. But anyway, so thank you for coming on. Do you want to promote your law firm in any way for the people out there?
No, I don't want my law firm associated with this.
Well, go to Buffalo and Vallejo Associates for all your law needs.
That's not the way it's named. But
Vallejo
Whatever.
and Buffalo Associates?
no.
No. You can look it up. Look up Joel Vallejo on the internet and then lawyer
Mm,
Buffalo.
mm,
Those keywords. Use those keywords, you'll find it.
I'm sure.
Or is that what you're doing right
Good seeing you, Sophia.
now?
Have fun.
Yeah. Bye,
Love
Dad.
you, son.
Love you too.
Have a good time.
Thank you. Bye, Dad.
Hey, did you do your pictures?
What?
Did you do your senior pictures?
No, we're
Or
doing them tomorrow. Because
It's
it was raining all day.
Maybe you should have picked better.
I didn't pick this date. It's what worked best for her. I tried to get
I
them done
mean-
earlier in the year.
I mean, you had all fall, which was.
I tried to get her to do it when she was here, and she was like,
I mean,
"Yeah."
But I was here.
You could.
Like,
You could have got you could have done it in Nashville where it was beautiful in the park.
why would I do it in
don't know.
Nashville when all it makes no sense? I go to school here.
Whatever.
How am I supposed to take a picture? My grandpa was in front of Haslam and on Ped Walkway when I'm in fucking Nashville. Oh look, here I am at Vanderbilt taking my grad photos.
So you're gonna pick pictures that are like in the darkest times of the year. No trees, no leaves, nothing. Just
You know what?
You don't know
know
how
what?
to. You don't know how
Love
to.
you, son.
I am.
Bye, Sophia.
Bye.
Good seeing
Oh, I can
seeing
remove.
you.
Bye, Dad.
you.
Remove Joel Vallejo. Yes. Okay. What? Do you want to report? No, I don't want to report. I like there's a thing that said, I'll tell you later. There's an option on the things like, why do you want to report? It's like, I'll tell you later. Like I'm gonna gossip with Zoom. So that's it for this episode of Tip 'em. Fun times. Thank you, Dad, for coming on.
Sorry, Owen kicked you off.
I'm not. It's okay.
We know. Yeah, stay tuned for our next guest.
Do you want it to be your dad next, or do you want to have someone else on?
We
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it. That
out.
reindeer looks so bad. Oh my god. Why does his chin look like a nutsack?
He looks like a drunk uncle.
He does look like a drunk uncle. But yeah, it looks like. Why does that reindeer have boobs? Hold up. I know we're supposed to end this. I don't think this is a kid's Christmas movie because that reindeer has tits. Like what? To show that she's a female reindeer.
So that one looks like a rat.
I'm so confused about what this movie is. So, if you want to, what is it, Ralphie the Reindeer or whatever? If you look up Ralphie the Reindeer, someone call me and explain to me what the fuck this is. So, okay. Anyway, should that next episode just be just us again? Just a classic one?
Can be.
Okay, we'll figure it out. But thank you for listening, everybody. You 6 people out there who are top ones. Woo! Okay.
Keep it up.
Keep
See
it
you
up.
next year.
Adios.